gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, baby. Are you ready? And again, every week, you think this is a pre-recorded intro, but it's not. It's not. So get ready for athleticism of guitar. Oh, baby. Get ready, because we're about to start. Woo! Oh, baby. The devil's in the detail. Yeah. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence. I can't wait no longer. I'm playing with the monsters. Everything that brought me alive. Oh, we're all like nonsense, playing with the monsters. They brought me alive, but got no alibi. It's a lover's fight without an alibi. You took my innocence without an alibi. Let's go! Woo! Now we're talking! Now we're talking! Woo! Ladies, gentlemen, baby, what's happening? Happy Saturday. Happy Sunday. I don't know where you are in this world. I don't know where you are. I don't think you know where you are either on a Saturday night. Happy Saturday. Thanks for joining the most athletic stream of electric guitar, okay? I mean, today I'm in the mood, guys. I woke up early. I'm in the mood. I'm caffeinated. I'm ready to go. So I hope you are. Playing with the monsters in your life. Oh, baby, we are ready to go. We are caffeinated, sugar-nated, every other nated, grenaded, in fact. And this is it. Let's get the party started, ladies and gentlemen, because today we have an athletic Docket for you all. Athletic. The Docket's been so athletic. We even have... Can he? Oh, he left. Never mind. He was sitting back there. I want to show you guys stealthy Puma, but Puma left. So that's okay. Man, we've got a really killer Docket for you today. Not gonna lie. First, we are gonna... Where's my camera? First, we're gonna talk about Otera guitars. Something weird happened in the YouTube space. A new guitar came out. We're gonna talk about that. Then, we're gonna talk about how Gibson, for the first time in their lives, been busy with new stuff. We're gonna talk about that. Then, we are going to talk about the new Jackson guitars. The new American Rhandy Rhodes came out. We're going to talk about that. And we are going to talk about something a little special that, again, Gibson has done at the very end. And we're going to talk about that. And then we're going to tiny little bit mention a brand of guitar that I had a heart-to-heart discussion with the CEO of. And there was a video of that on YouTube. So, if you're ready to go, let's get the party started. Zuhair! What's happening, baby? Good evening. How you doing? How you doing? So let us play this little background music, okay? And then we'll get the party started. Zuhair, tell me, how's the background music going? Is it too loud? Is it too little? Is it too... I hope the sound is good. Okay, let us get the party started. So, we are gonna go to our first item on the docket, baby. Let's go. All right, oops. What happened to Jesus Christ? Sorry, guys. I tell you what happened. I completely forgot. So I am recording this new beginner guitar course. It'll be free, completely free on YouTube, and it'll be part of the playlist. And it's a full course, and the goal of it is to get an absolute beginner and bring them to a good intermediate level. And so I've been recording for over the past 2-3 weeks, and every time I record, I have to change the setting of the video. That's why we started with this weirdness at the very beginning. So, now you know. Okay, so, Zuhair says, I will tell you how it is. I don't hear shoot. Okay, that's unfortunate. Hold on a second. How about now? Do you hear shoot now? I hope you hear. And I'm gonna do this actually. Hold on. Because it's pumping in my ears. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to do that. And then I am going to, a little better, this might be perfect. I like it. In fact, I am perfect. Oops. Okay, there we go. We're going to do this. All right, I think that did it. I have a feeling. Okay. So, there's this guy on YouTube called Samurai Guitar. And I don't know him, but I feel very close heart to heart because I was also born in Japan. I don't think he was born in Japan, but he's Japanese-ish. And his surname is Otera. And he came up with this new guitar. And he did only 100 of them. Court in Indonesia made that guitar for him. Right. Now, this website was live with guitar details and everything else until yesterday. Then once it got sold out, everything just went away. So I am going to find the image of this guitar for you guys. This is the guitar. Check this out. And as you can see, it has a really weird kind of a shape to it, right? So it's like a body of a Telecaster, but it's kind of not. like at the top is a little different, and I like it. It's a really nice and bold design. Now, no brand expressed any interest in doing a signature guitar with me, so I figured, you know what, forget them, I'll do it myself. One of the biggest guitar YouTubers has launched their own brand, and its first model is destined to become a rarity. It is a rarity. Zuhair says, woof, I like it. A bit of retro and unique. ZZ Top would play this. Yeah, it's really, really retro and modern kind of shape. It's a new shape, right? The bottom half of the guitar is very Telly-like, and I'll go through the specs of it in a second. But you're right, it is a unique guitar. It's a new design. The Otera TK1 has been years in the making and puts a distinct spin on the T-style template. Steve Otera, the popular YouTube guitar player who goes by the name of Samurai Guitarist, has become the latest guitar personality to launch his own gear brand with the unveiling of the Otera TK1. Samurai Guitarist is one of YouTube's most prolific and influential personalities, and at the time of writing, it boasts 1.2 million subscribers on the platform. The rest of his social media following isn't too shabby either, 120 on Insta, and this is the guitar. So Zuhair asked, why did you write Otera guitar is gone? Because it's gone. They're sold out. So this website, few hours ago, when I was preparing, was all ready to go. It had the specs of the guitar there. It has different images of the guitar. It had everything, right? And then when you come to the website now, it says, oh, we're sold out. And then everything is gone. The whole website, there's nothing in there. You know what I mean? That's why I said it's gone. And I was like, this is ridiculous. Like, I was like, they had the whole specs there and now I have to find it. You know what I mean? You're like, a guy launches his guitar brand and you're saying the opposite. No, I'm not trying to screw with this guy. No, I wouldn't do that. I would not do that. I'll tell you why. I would never, you never hear me trashing a brand of a guitar who's just starting. You never hear me do that. And here's the reason why. When somebody starts a guitar brand, already the headwind is insane. Already you need at least $100,000 of initial investment, not just for like building of the guitar, but for lawyers and trademarks and logistics and everything else, and shipping and you know, everything. So the initial cost of starting that business is insane, right? And now Steve actually was lucky. This guy, he was actually lucky because he was, well, not lucky, I guess. He's a big YouTuber and he had connections. So he actually got Court to build this guitar for him. And that's lucky because Court didn't have to do this, right? So he's going just for 100 guitars, right? Court, for those who don't know, make guitars for Fender, Ibanez, all the PRS SE models, Jackson. Do you know what I mean? Like all the big guys, and these are just the biggest. Like there's many more companies that I haven't named here that Cortec in Indonesia builds guitar for, right? So they don't need or an order of 100 pieces, which Steve has done, right? But thank God for his connections and everything else, he got Cortec to do that. But Cortec can make a better guitar for cheaper because they have the economy of scale advantages on them. They're the biggest producer of electric guitars in the world, right? So building it with them is likely going to be cheaper, but also better, because they're just great at what they do. So Steve got that one going for him. But aside from that, the headwinds of just starting out is insane, right? But then if somebody doesn't start something new, like what Steve has done here, if we don't do anything new here, then it's going to be only Fender and Gibson, Telecaster, Stratocaster, and Les Paul. Do you know what I mean? That's the whole... That's why I'm like really inherently supportive of a new starter. And it's like a spirit of entrepreneurship, man. We need more of that in the guitar world. Zuhair says, just learned Chord is actually Cortec. Thanks. Oh, yeah, okay. So the factory is Cortec. Cort is the guitar brand. So no, you're right. The brand of the guitar is Cort. The factory is Cortec. So anyways, this is the guitar, but then for some reason, I don't know why, man. I get it that you guys have sold out. Why did you remove all the specs from the website and I prepared it and now everything is gone and I have to find it again? Let's see if this one has it. All right. No, nobody has it. So sorry, guys. The specs were here, but I can't find the specs online to actually talk about this. This is so annoying. I prepared it all. And then a few hours ago, like the website decided to just pull it all down, huh? Oh, this is so annoying. All right, give me a second. Let me see if I can find the specs for you guys properly. This is extremely obnoxious. And I apologize for that. I tried my best. I can only prepare. Hold on. Okay. So... Okay, so the pickups on this guitar are Seymour Duncan SH10B Invader in the bridge and the SHJB in the neck. So you have that sort of high output single coil there in the bridge-ish, and then you have this sort of like P90 style pickup on the neck side. Scale length is 25.5 inch, 22 medium jumbo frets. Gloss finish with a custom design. So this arch that you see is like an optional thing. They will send you a pick guard. Yes, I remember the word pick guard. They send you the pick guard with like only white, but also a second pick guard with this on it, because they recognize that this might be a little too much. Some people love it, some people don't, but that's that. And then hardware is Gotha locking tuners, Floyd Rose. No, sorry, no, that's wrong. It's not Gotha locking tuners, so yeah, my apologies. So the hardware is Cort tuners, and they're not locking, and Cort Telecaster style bridge. So that's the spec of the guitar, from what I can find here. Again, apologies for the interruption and the delay, because the website is just completely down. Good question. This doesn't even look like 20. Like, I'm looking at the guitar. It looks like a 22 fretted guitar. I think just the information online is not correct about it. I think this looks like this is a 22 fretted guitar. Did I say 24? I don't think it says 24 there. Hold on. No, 22. It is a 22 medium. Yeah. So what was your question then? I don't get how you can make a guitar and don't realize 21 frets limits the music you can play. I think. How hard could it have been to make at least 22 frets guitar? It is 22, no? 15, 17, 19, 21, and then 22. The thing is missing. I know what you mean now. You can still, yeah, add the extra 22nd fret you're talking. Okay, yeah. Yeah, you're right. Hey, Dorotio. Fugly guitar? Yeah, not a fan? It's a look, it's a bold and ambitious design. There's no questions about it, right? Now, do I like the design of the guitar? not so much. I love the color. I'll be honest, I really dig this sort of aqua blue with white. I really dig that color. But the shape of the body, not so much. But I appreciate the effort. Like, the fact that we're getting out of Tele Strat Les Paul, kind of a rinse and repeat scenario. This is something new. And I want more of it. That's why I really love Washburn Necks, because of Steven's eccentric cutaway. Something different. Music Man Kaizen, a new body shape. You know what I mean? Something more modern, something more different. But I hear your point. This is like really, really not everybody's cup of tea. This is not like a guitar that everybody would like. 100% get you on that. So yeah. All right, let's jump to the next item on the docket, guys. And again, apologies. Had these guys just kept the stuff there, I opened the website and not have removed all the details a few hours ago, we would have been able to have a much more fun discussion on this. But they're gone. There were 100 only made, built with heart, and then website gone. Oh well. How you doing, Doroteo, by the way? Didn't say hello, we just jumped into the guitar talk. Hope you're well, pal. Hope everything is well. All right, let's talk about a company. Speaking of, speaking of innovation, by the way, let's talk about a guitar company that sucks at it. Check this out, because I have a grudge with Gibson guitars. Okay, but I gotta give him this. Again, I'm strong with expressing my honest opinion, and I give credit when it is due, and I love the fact that they've done this. So Gibson did this collaboration. This collaboration felt incredibly necessary in this moment. Yeah, well, it's been necessary for Gibson for decades now, because there's a lot been missing. Gibson rarely does collaborative brand Les Pauls, but it's just unveiled 4 new models designed in partnership with a US fashion giant, Marc Jacobs. And I like Marc Jacobs. I actually got a pair of sunglasses from Marc Jacobs. A custom guitar strap and pick tints also feature in this capsule, which is set to star in pop-up stores across the globe. That's the guitar. The worlds of music and fashion have collided once more, with US fashion giant Marc Jacobs redecorating a score of Gibson guitars as part of the firm's Joy campaign. 4 Les Pauls, 3 studios with artwork from the renowned artist Hattie Stewart, and the one standard boasting Jacobs' Daisy Joy design headline the collection, which serves as a rare collaborative outing for Gibson. And then custom straps and picks. And then they debuted it at New York Fashion Week, which is another thing that I really, really like, because this is so important, and that's my opinion, right? Here's why it's so important. Because when you go and bring guitar out into more events like New York Fashion Week, right, which is ginormous, it brings the electric guitar out to the public. Because after like the 90s and the 2000s, the golden era of rock and metal was over, electric guitar music was on decline. It's coming back again a little bit in charts and everything else. But that factor is so important for new youngsters starting to play electric guitar, because all of us at some point saw somebody do it and we fell in love with it, so we picked it up, right? And so this is so important. Again, as much as I trash Gibson, and Zuhair says I don't like him at all. I don't see a serious guitar player getting these guitars. I agree with you. It's not, again, similar to Otera. It is not a design that everybody likes. But what the reason that this one caught my eye was that obviously it was a collab with Marc Jacobs, and they brought it out on New York Fashion Week. I want guitar to be out there on every big event. That's one of the reasons I started a YouTube channel to begin with. I wanted to spread electric guitar, not guitar, not classical guitar, not acoustic guitar, electric guitar. In fact, I told you guys earlier that I'm recording a full beginner's guitar course that I'm putting for free on YouTube. In that guitar course, the second video is literally how you buy your first guitar. Because like, I want to take somebody that doesn't even have a guitar and turn him into a good guitar player. And in that video that I talk about how you buy your first guitar, for example, one of the myths that I bust is, people think electric guitar is definitely always more expensive than acoustics, and it's not the case. And I take them to Sweetwater and Guitar Center's website, and I say, hey, look, it's not. Like, you can see, you can get it pretty cheaply too, right? My job here is to spread a love of electric guitar. And so when somebody comes in like Gibson, as much as I don't like him, you got to give credit when it's due. You brought it out on New York Fashion Week. Heck yes. Yeah. Zuhair says, sounds like an interesting course. You could charge for it if it's a lot of effort. It is a lot of effort, trust me. Also, from experience, I don't suggest to buy all-in-one starter kits. They include guitar, amp, cable. Yeah, no, I know, you're right. Can be good, can be bad. Any Epiphone or Squire ones that I've seen, they've been decent enough. They've been better than the guitar I had when I started. So yeah, you're right. They might not be perfect. But like I remember when I started, the first guitar I had. It wasn't always this nice and shiny with like 11 guitars at home. And you know, any guitar, any electric guitar is better than no electric guitar, you know. But I hear your point. There are some non-brands mostly out there that don't have a reputation to protect, don't have a brand to protect, and they do one of these all-in-ones, and it's pretty cheap. And then next thing you know, yeah. So yeah, that's like, I thought that was a really, really interesting one. I wish the electric guitar stuff came more to the mainstream like this. I really do. One, there was this idea that, I'm not sure if you guys heard of it. So Paul Reed Smith, owner of PRS, put this idea out there to both to guys at the Kiesel, to guys at Gibson, a few other big luthiers. And he was like, let's do this thing together. Let's all go to Home Depot and make electric guitars from anything that is in that Home Depot. Which I thought, that's insanely good idea. Imagine if there was a reality TV show like the Housewives of Miami or whatever, right? And there's camera around them, Paul himself, all the big head luthiers, you know, Caesar from Gibson, Ibanez, Kiesel, everybody, Strandberg, everyone that has a philosophy in making guitar. Fender, obviously. People, master luthiers from there, go to Home Depot, right? And then buy everything that they need to build a guitar from Home Depot and make a guitar, and we see who makes the better guitar. Sell that guitar. Let the community decide. How great of an idea is that? A reality TV show. And PRS, Paul himself suggested it. It didn't come to fruition. But, like, it's a great idea to bring guitar to mainstream. You know what I mean? Doroteo says, Ibanez makes great beginner guitars. Yeah, pretty good guitars. Zuhair says, Housewives of Hell. Doroteo says, Lowe's too. Yeah. Yeah. Dude, by the way, Dorothy, you made a comment earlier on. I forgot. Zack Wylde's Les Paul is a killer. Yeah, he has a really nice Les Paul. He's more like on the Washburn side now from the live stuff that I've seen he does. All right, so for those who don't know, this is what Dorothy was talking about. Hold on. And he has all these, like, the color stuff that hypnotizes me every time I look at it. Like, literally, you know, the... Alright, this is what Dorothy's talking about. That's the Les Paul. See it? Yeah, Zack really likes that sort of like this round design, coloring, whatever you want to call it. He really likes it. All of his guitars got it. Zora says, this is a good idea, yeah. This is a joke, nothing more. Yeah, they didn't do it. Imagine if they did that. You know when they will do it? When the market becomes difficult enough. Right now, the market is still too good for everybody to get their hands dirty properly. They will come together once the market becomes really difficult. Give it a few more years. And we'll see a lot of collaborations. But no, jokes aside, like, this is great. Because, you know, Marc Jacobs is like a well-regarded fashion brand. Gibson obviously is, and come together and... Zora says, before the joke thing, I said you look so... when you're clean and shaved and fresh. You look so S-word. What do you mean? Hold on. Before the joke thing, I gotta read this. Zuhair says, before the joke thing, I said you look so S-word when you're clean and shaved fresh. S-word, do you mean like shit or sexy? Because the S-word can mean completely different things. Unbelievable. That's the second one. Okay, all right. Thank you. I'll take it. Didn't go through in the comments. Right, because of the profanity blocker in the comments. So there is this filter that you can put on that blocks profanity, and that saves my life because I don't have to, you know, moderate. I can just chat with everybody and have a good time with everybody too. So I am straight, by the way. It's all good, brother. I appreciate you complimenting me. Don't worry. You don't have to be gay to compliment. It's all good. Doroteo says Zack played a killer riff with that guitar on Ozzy's Breaking All the Rules. Oh, was it that guitar that he used? Okay. I know he used that SGV shape, that weird one. Top half is SG, bottom half is V. I thought he used that on the Farewell tour. Was that the guitar that he recorded with? Or was it like the last performance you're talking about, Dorothea? Yeah, because I know if I go to his... I thought this was the guitar that he used on that last tour. Hold on. I thought this was the one that he used on the tour. Or if it wasn't this one, it was the same shape. Oops. Sorry. There we go. Yeah. Because he has this sort of like SGV. I call it the SGV. I don't know the name of the guitar. He has the one that has like a sort of like, you know, it's a tribute to Dimebag. But then he has this one that he uses pretty frequently too. Yeah. Zuhair says, back in the late 80s and early 90s we're talking. Okay. Yeah. To be honest with you, because I'm like born in the 90s. Like I wouldn't even know. Yeah. Zoer says, our heroes are getting old. All the great guitar players and great bands, we should see them live. I agree. Oh boy, you said this. Guess who I saw live last night? Yesterday. Guess who I saw live last night? Do you guys know Wylde? Who knows Otera here? I went to the live show last night and it was awesome. I'll show you guys if you don't know who they are. They're like what, how do I categorize, how do I, what is their genre? Like black metal? Check this out. It's these guys. They have a song called Gin. And that's like, I love that song. And they opened the show with it. It was an amazing show last night, by the way. They're great. If you guys, this is the song DJINN. Yeah, so that's the album cover. But they have a song called Gin. I highly recommend everybody to check that song out. Wylde. Which I think, Dorothy, correct me if I'm wrong, does Wylde in Spanish mean haunted? Is that a Spanish word? Because Dorothy speaks Spanish. Yeah. Symphonic death metal. Death metal. Interesting. Yeah. Wasn't that symphonic? No, I don't think they're that symphonic, dude. Not the songs that I heard. They could be some of the records that I haven't. But yeah. They're an American band. Zoer says, this is a death metal band. I think so, yeah. And Jinn sound like the ghost/spirit from Islam. Oh, I come from that background. Oh, right. Okay, I don't know. I think Jinn, and my only reference is the Witcher 3 game. So Witcher 3 has a mission, like a quest, where you go and trap a Jinn, and it's like this spirit, ghostly thing that is very magical. So that's what I know of that word. I don't know anything. So when I see that word, that's what I think of. You could be very well right. Like in the game, at least, it was the spirit. But that was like, yeah, that was like a long time ago. I think, when did I play that game? Like 2015, 14? Doroteo says technical death metal. Yeah, that's a lot closer. Yeah. But that song is amazing. I really liked it. And tell you guys what, this was the interesting thing about the show last night. I left the show thinking that they performed it live. They performed it live last night better than the record, in all honesty. Because oftentimes, like, you know, when you get a record, it's like perfect, right? It's like everything's sorted out, right? No errors, no nothing. I really liked the live performance last night much better than the actual record for the song. It was amazing. Zoer says, do I gotta read the books before playing Witcher 3? I've never read the books, and I'm not gonna do that. Or play Witcher 1 and 2? Yes, play Witcher 1 and 2. I don't know if the game is still out there. Surely it's on Steam or some platform. I haven't gamed for years now. Like, I don't game often. Once a year. Like, if I sit down and play just to, you know, steam off a little. But if you can find Witcher 1 and 2, yeah, play 1 and 2 and then play the 3. But then again, 1 and 2 are so old, like the gameplay is really old, the graphics and everything. But it's a nice trilogy, and you can follow the story really well. I think it's a great experience if you do that. Zoer says, you might like this song. What is that? Quest for Eternity? How do you spell that word? Pronounce that word. Hold on. For everybody, let me type it here. And this video is for entertainment purposes only. I made another rec video just saying something controversial, so I had to put that disclaimer. Hold on. Hold on. ACRASSICAUDA. All right, everybody. Okay, now good luck reading this. Acrasicauda. Acrasicauda? Yeah, so yeah, Zuhair even Acrasicauda. Yeah, it is Acrasicauda. Iraqi thrash metal band? Oh, wow, okay, holy shit, dude. Are you Iraqi, Zuhair? Because first you said Islam and now you know Iraqi metal bands. Are you from Iraq? No, originally Bengali. Right, okay. How do you, wow, okay. I didn't even know. Is metal even allowed in that part of the world? All right, let's get over the Acrasicauda. What a name, Acrasicauda. But I lived in Banglade. See, I don't even know what Banglade, like Bangladesh. I lived in Banglade up to age 15 and then 15 until 32 in the USA. Yeah, Bangladesh. Okay, yeah, okay. Banglade. Is that another way to say Bangladesh? I don't know. Keon, how are ya? So good to see you, man. How are things? How's life treating you? Alrighto, let's jump to the next item on the docket. And, yeah, let's get that started. So, Doroteo says, welcome, Keon. Keon says, life's good. My dad says hi. Say hi to him. Hope you guys are well, man. So good of you to jump in. Say my hello to your dad. Hope everything's well. Alrighto. Let's talk about this, because you guys remember my grudge with Jackson guitars after I bought that King V and things didn't go out really well. So I was in a little bit of a conflict, internal conflict in my heart. See if I wanted to talk about this or not, but I thought it's an interesting enough guitar to talk about this. Rock on, Keon. Rock on. Indeed. So, check this out. Jackson came out with the new Rhodes model, the American Series Rhodes, which I thought that was interesting to talk about. It brings the shape that metal guitarists have coveted for decades to a new generation. Jackson drafts the Rhodes V into its high-end American series, bringing Rhandy Rhodes' iconic metal guitar back to the States. Okay, this is why I thought this was interesting, by the way. Not just because it's Rhandy Rhodes, but other guitar companies right now are digging into Rhodes-inspired shapes. I know Ola's Solar guitars are doing an exact replica of the Arrow, ESP Arrow. And so there is going to be some competition in this space for the rest of this year in sort of like uneven V-shaped electric guitars. So with that said, let's have a quick listen to the sound and then let us talk about this guitar. I'll stop the music now. Let's have a listen. Right. So they're not going just for like the old school 80s audience. I mean, Jeff Loomis, for fairness, right? Um, but we're sort of like going more on the 90s side of things now, not so much the 80s. Like, you know what I mean? This is like modern thrash kind of deal with like fast sweep and tapping techniques and all that jazz. Right. So this is basically the two guitars, and it comes with like satin finishes and glossy finishes. Um, but yeah, Jackson has brought the Rhodes V electric guitar shape home to its California factory with the unveiling of two high-end American Series Rhodes models. Originally born out of a collaboration between Ozzy and Grover Jackson in the early 80s, the flagship Rhodes not only puts a distinct Rhandy design spin on the V template, but helped launch the Jackson brand. Oh, that it did. Now, check this out. Jackson has now added another tier to the Rhodes lineage, drafting in the former Quiet Riot guitar, Great's visionary innovation to its American Series, a collection that was purpose launched for this exact sort of thing. They debuted in 2022, marked the firm's first crop of maiden Corona guitars, now the Rhodes, which was once part of the USA Select series before it was discontinued, returns to join the elite crop of Jackson electric guitars. Yeah. Dorothy says that's Brandon Ellis at the guitar place. Yeah, so that was Brandon Ellis and Senior Loomis on that one. Yeah, pretty big, actually. Yeah. So that is the new electric guitar app. Now, let's talk about the specs of that in a second. But this is the thing that I was actually surprised about. The fact that they actually removed, like, took that model away from the Pro Series was a surprise to me. The American Series, rather. Right. I was surprised because that is like that V-shaped guitar has always had its fans and its audience. Do you know what I mean? So it was interesting. It was interesting to see that's kind of happening because they did not discontinue like the cheaper models. Do you know what I mean? So if I go to the website right now, you can see the $400 one is still there. $300 ones are still there. If the cheaper ones are there, that means that there is some sort of a demand to it. Yeah. They removed what? The American Series. So Rhandy Rhodes, American Series, made in America, like the Pro, the high-end one, was there in the market, and then they discontinued it. While the Chinese-made one, or the Indonesian-made one, still went through. So that when the JS series, the more affordable ones, they still produce them, but the American series were discontinued, and then now they brought them back. And I'm like, that's a surprise for two reasons. That's a surprise, right? Number one is that if the JS series is selling, means that there is some sort of a demand in the market for it. One. Number two, the high-end series of any guitar brand define the price of the low-end series, right? So I'll give you an example, a great example of that. PRS guitars, again, right? One of the criticisms that PRS gets is that the price are really high. They label them as, what do you call it? Like the guitars for lawyers and doctors and surgeons, because it is an expensive guitar brand. What that high price and their American core models have done is that it has allowed them to lift up the price of the more affordable model guitars, right? How? Well, if I'll put it to you this way, I'll give you like a very simple example. let's just say you have a guitar that a PRS core model that is $5,000. And everyone's going to be like, oh my God, PRS, boutique, $5,000, you know, wood library, yada, yada. And then they come in with an SE series that they could sell it for $500, but they sell it for $800, right? Because of more profit. Now, in the eyes of the buyer, you'd think, oh, okay, well, it's not, it's $800 is still expensive, but it's not as expensive as $5,000, is it? Fine, it's a PRS guitar, I'll buy it. And again, I say this as a fan of PRS guitars. It's my top 3 favorite brand, everybody knows it. But I brought this example up to say that the higher end of the spectrum and the price changes at the higher end of the spectrum ripples down to the lower end. It always does. So the higher you set the price of your high end and it still sells, the higher you can lift up the lower end of things now. It allows you to play with things like that. And so when you have a scenario where your JS series in Jackson are still going on, you have not discontinued them, right? Taking the American series away, it doesn't make any sense to me. Obviously, Jackson knows something that I don't. But the fact that they did that does not make any sense to me. I hope that made sense. Keon, I saw your question. Let me get back to it. I'm in the middle of the docket. I'll get back to that question because I'll tell you. So, this is the American Series Rhodes models that came back. It comes in 3 colors. You got the white one, the green one, and then the black one. You got satin black, matte army, and then snow white. This is the specs of this guitar. So, it's an alder body guitar. That's good. Not too heavy, not too crazy. A through body 3-piece neck with graphite reinforcement. Okay, so mind you, it's a through body, not a neck through. You guys remember a few streams ago we had a chat about how Jackson is playing around a little in that front? So neck through is when the neck is there and then there's 2 wings on either side. Through body is like half a neck is there, half a body is there. It's a slightly different design. And Jackson got a lot of heat for that. So it's not a full neck through, but it's a through body 3-piece. 12-inch to 16-inch compound radius on the ebony fretboard. That's standard Jackson. Seymour Duncan JB59s. In both positions, a 3-way blade pickup switch, 1 volume, and 1 tone knob. The 1500 Floyd Rose, 24 Jumbo Series stainless steel, lumen lay side dots, heel mount truss rod, and okay, it comes with Dunlop dual locking strap buttons and Gota lock and tuners, and obviously comes with a case, right? So here we go. Can you show a better representation of through body for me? Your favorite viewer? Yeah. Give me a second. So, versus if I can find a good image for you, I will show you. Give me a minute. I saw a really nice image a few weeks ago. If I can't find it, dude, I'll find it separately and I'll send it to you on Instagram. I can't find the right diagram here right now. But can I draw that for you? Because I can't find any image here, and then if I find that image, I'll send it to you separately on Insta. So check this out. This is how a neck through design works. Share my screen. Here you go. So imagine this is the guitar neck. Oops. This is the guitar neck, right? And on either side comes in 2 wings, and that makes the body of the guitar. So that is a neck through design. Okay? It looks like something else right now, but that's okay. Right? Now, if you look at this guitar from the side, you only see the neck, and then you only see the body from that angle, right? So now think of it like this. What if at the neck body joint, like what if your neck body joint goes like this? So the neck comes into the guitar, right? So that's the thickness of your neck, like that. Imagine that's the neck. And then it goes like this. And then here is the body. See that? So this is not a complete neck through. The neck joints with the body in this sort of like a thing, like that. It comes over the body like that, right? But it's not a full neck through. That's what Jackson did. And it actually caused a lot of controversy not long ago. If I can find a better image like that actually shows that diagram properly, I'll send it your way. But suffice to say that Jackson did that. People accused them of just trying to, save and cut costs on their American models, and that, raffled a lot of feathers. But yeah, so $2,850. Rhandy Rhodes, American, made. And this is what I wanted to show you guys. So a couple of things on this. Number one, the inlays are reverse shark fin. So they're not at the bottom, they're actually at the top. You have a nice satin finish on the neck. It comes with its own case, which is something that I like. And it comes with lumen lay on the side, which is really good for those who gig. Or for those who just want to play in the dark and have their guitar glowing. So yeah, other than that, like everyone's so familiar with Jackson guitars, so I don't know how far you guys want to go with it. Here's what I say though. So obviously you have this 3-piece maple neck, which is good. Because, when you have multiple pieces on your neck, that makes it more stable. I'm really glad they did that. They didn't have to. For a 6-string Rhandy Rhodes guitar, you don't need a 3-piece maple neck, but it's good that they did it in case, people go with like, I don't know, really thick string gouges and then high tunings like E standard tuning or something like that. That perhaps helps to stabilize the guitar. But this is like a take on the Rhodes, take the shows kind of guitar. Yeah. Look, it says neck through body. There was a video. I know it says it here now. There was a video on that. Again, I'll find it and I'll send it to you. Jackson is doing things a little differently now. So they're naming it that way, but it's actually not a full neck through. Yeah. Here. Through body. I call it through body. So they're using that interchangeably, I guess. And that was one of the reasons that they got a lot of shit for it. But it's actually not like what you would expect. Like a proper... Like it's not this. Hold on. Neck through guitar design. It's not this. It's not a full neck through. Because this is a full neck through. Yeah. So yeah. Who would have thought? So what do you guys think about this? Are you guys interested? Like, would anybody buy something like this? I would never buy another Jackson ever in my life. I've said that before. I'm sticking to it. But yeah, I know this model has its own very dedicated fan base. And interesting thing is that even like a company like ESP or LTD that, and now Solar Guitars, by the way, that are producing sort of like similar stuff, they never went with the exact, or like they never went to a body shape that is this close. They did it earlier on. They did a signature series for the old guitarist of Dimmu Borgir, but Arrow is actually a redesign of it. You know what I mean? Dorothy asks, does neck through or set neck provides more sustain? That's what everybody says. That's what a lot of people say. Yeah. The advantage of that is more sustain. I think, my personal opinion, if you're asking me, I think it contributes, but a little. Because there are other factors that also contribute to your sustain, right? How your guitar nut is made, how well your bridge is made, you know, the height of your pickup, like the distance between your pickup and your string. So the closer the pickup is to the string, the stronger the magnetic field is, the less the sustain. So yeah, it does impact a little, but it's not the only factor, I think. Is there a good sev? What do you mean by that, man? What's a good sev? We are in the, hold on, I gotta write this down. Good sev, what's that? I have no idea what you meant by that word, dude. Right, okay. Is there good evidence or just hype? I think it's little evidence and a lot of hype. I'll give it to you this way. When it comes to a lot of things about guitars, it becomes more like wine tasting and less like maths. Okay. So some people swear by it. Some people completely negate it. Some people, like me, believe that the truth lies somewhere in the middle. Yeah. Right. Look, there is no question that how the pieces of wood are joined together in a guitar makes a difference in the final sound. There's just no questions about it, right? As an example, if you have a bolt-on neck, so that's when your neck is screwed to the body and there's a metal plate and there's metal screws, versus when it's not, it's any other type, you get an extra twang on your guitar. That is the reason why Stratocasters to this day, like Strat, not Super Strats or Humbucker Strats or Strats, like Stratocaster, Silver Sky, you guys get the idea. That's why they are still made bolt-on, because the genres of music that you use that kind of guitar for needs that extra twang. So it does change the sound profile of your guitar a little bit. Right, now you apply that logic to how your neck is made, a 3-piece maple neck, how it gets connected to the body. There is something to it. So this through body is entirely a new thing. Don't see it online. Let me see if I can find it and I'll send it to you, dude. Let me see if I can find it. I'll share it to you and everybody else on. I'll post it on I'll do it on the YouTube post, so everybody that sees that is watching right now, but is not commenting or anything, everybody can see it. I'll do a post on that. Yeah. It's a new thing. At least to me, it was new when I heard about it. Yep. Alrighty. Now, that's the part of the stream where I get to drink a little. Cheers to you guys. Happy Saturday. Thanks for joining. Let me have a bit of sip. And by the way, this is just green tea. For those who are wondering whether I'm drinking alcohol live or not, no. What can I say, man? Born in Japan. I like Japanese stuff. So. Make sure to have some sugary drinks. I'm already fat, so here. No sugar in my tea. Who does that? I made sure to have lots of sugar. No, have a lot of sugar, dude. Don't have too much. It's not good for you, but have some sugar. Sugar is nice. Once in a while, you know. But here's the thing. Like when Jackson came out with this, brought back the Pro Series of Rhandy Rhodes. It makes me believe that they're realizing now that the demand for it was always there. But taking the American-made Rhandy Rhodes out of the market really paved the way for ESP to come in and just take over, do whatever they want. And now Ola saw the opportunity and introduced it. Check this out. Solar V Arrow. And I think he announced it, like Solar announced it 2 days ago, if I'm not mistaken. It's called Solar V1.7. Is that the thing? Hold on. Solar V1.7. No, it's not this. Hold on. Give me a second. I'm just trying to find you guys that. Ola Englund is the boss of Solar Guitars, right? Yeah, yeah. So that's Solar Guitars. Check this out. Right. So this is here. There we go. It came out 2 days ago or yesterday, if I'm not mistaken. So now this is exactly what? This is Arrow. Make no mistakes about it, ladies and gents. This is an ESP Arrow. Right. FW Jax on Twitch says hi. Hi, how you doing? Welcome to the guitar stream. But yeah, that's like, this is an arrow. Like the body is literally an arrow, which makes me believe that ESP could not trademark the body. They only trademarked the headstock. So if I take you here, ESP Arrow. That's what I'm talking about. Right. Oops. Yeah. This is literally the Arrow, basically. So they came out with this guitar like a couple of days ago. But ESP has been producing the Arrows, and the guitars are amazing, by the way. I played with a couple of LTD Arrows sometime last year or something, and they sound so good. They feel so good, so light, so easy to play. I played with this. This is the guitar that I played with, one of the guitars. And the neck hug down there, man, like the access you have to higher frets in this guitar is unmatched. It's so good. Because like V guitars usually have a really good access down there because you have that, you know, it just cuts away from there. So you don't need that extra cutaway, but ESP still did it. I just love the design. Unbelievable design. Zuhair says body almost totally ESP, but I like the Solar headstock more. Yeah. Solar got their own like headstock, which is fantastic. It's really difficult to design headstock, man, because you don't have much to work with. But no, you're right. I agree with you. They got an interesting headstock. Would I prefer their headstock over this? I don't know. Yeah. Total ESP ripoff. I didn't want to say it that way, but yes, it is. Which, again, like I said earlier on, Doroteo is right. This is what makes me think, like when I look at this, what makes me think is that ESP couldn't trademark the body. So this is an exact replica of the arrow. Dorothy was 100% right. So there you go. So, the point I was trying to make there, though, was that the fact that Jackson, discontinued the American series and then now brought it back makes me believe that they realized that, there was some potential there that, some customers wanted it. And they lift the whole thing because the Rhandy Rhodes is their model. Uneven V-shaped electric guitar is a Jackson thing, right? Or was. Until they left it. All right, tell me. Between Arrow, just the shape, doesn't matter whether it's LTD, ESP, American-made, Japan-made, whatever. Between the Arrow and the Jackson Rhandy Rhodes, which one would you go for? Doroteo, Zuhair, Keon. That's the $1 million question right here. So this is the Arrow, and this is the. Let me get a better photo. This is the Rhandy. Arrow, Rhandy. Which one would you go for? And the answer for me is obvious. I would go with Arrow any day. No more Jacksons for me, but I honestly really like the shape of Arrows a lot better. And I played with them before. I love them. You go with the Jackson? Zuhair says, I'd go with the Jackson. I like the headstock more. Ah, right. Nah, fair enough. That's more than fair. And Doroteo goes with Rhandy Rhodes 1980s model. I hear you. Yeah, fair enough. That's more than fair. I have no comments on it. I'm glad your experience with Jackson is better than mine, man. I'm so glad. Because I remember the bum, like I was really bummed down when, whatever happened to me with Jackson happened to me. So I'm glad that you guys have that good experience with it. I really do. Because they're iconic. No questions about it. But yeah. It's surprising. Like the fact that they just left the whole thing to ESP and other brands to do their V-shaped guitars. It was surprising to me, but yeah. That's the thing. Now, check this out. I want to show you guys one brief thing, and then I have one last guitar to talk about. Zuhair asked, did Ola Englund just also create solar panels, you think? I think it's very likely that he did solar panels, especially where he's from. Hold on. Give me a second. Especially where he's from, there's a lot of sun. There's a lot of sunlight. I think it's like, where is he from? Denmark? Finland? That area of the world has a lot of sunlight. It's just like Saudi Arabia. You think Finland weather, you think Denmark, Scandinavian weather, think Saudi Arabia. Arabia Nights. Think that. And they obviously use a lot of solar panels. And it could be very, very possible. I think if he hasn't, if Ola didn't invent those solar panels, I think he revolutionized them. Just like how Elon Musk didn't invent electric guitars, but he revolutionized them. Yeah, I think it's possible. So that's my answer, and I'm sticking to it. Unbelievable. You're on something. Japanese green tea, baby. Japanese green tea. But yeah, that's the thing. I wanted to briefly touch on this topic too. Before I go, Keon earlier asked me, what's your favorite guitar? I'll tell you what my current favorite is. My current favorite, I have this Washburn N4 electric guitar that was made in 2009, if I'm not mistaken. That guitar is my favorite guitar. The playability of it is insane. But my favorites change once in a while. That's why I have this many guitars at home. Because like curiosity, right? You try new things and you change as a player yourself. But right now, that's the guitar that I spend the most time with, the N4. And mind you, Washburn N4s were like really good back in the day. They're like horrible now. Nothing good comes out of them. I've done some few videos about all the issues that they have and how they're not taking care of their customers and so on and so forth. But if anybody can get your hand on a decent Washburn from like early 2000s or 90s, you'd have a really good experience. In all likelihood, I'm yet to hear somebody complaining about an early 2000s, like 2003, 2005 Washburn. I got another one. So the one that I played the most is from 2009. There was another limited edition I got 2005. I bought it secondhand a couple of years ago. It's awesome. Again, amazing guitar. Yeah. Zoer says, gotta go. Gotta go, my friend. Sorry for the off-topic talk. Stay safe. We'll message on IG. Yeah, take care, dude. Stay safe. Have a good rest. I'll talk to you later. Take care of yourself. Alrighty. There was this one little topic I wanted to bring up. Two little tiny topics that I thought I want to touch on. But I'm not going to go too deep on. Which I thought, again, it's worth mentioning. The first one was, check this out. The first one was Gibson doing this new Les Paul and SG Junior guitars with 3 strings only. And I love that idea. I really did. Right? Basically, they've got this new set of kids guitars. And they're actual electric guitars. They're not toys. But they come in 3 strings. And obviously I like the fact that, you know, you give guitar to kids and everybody can start early and you don't have to worry about the guitar being too heavy for your kid and things of that nature. So I love that about it. But also, when you reduce the size of the body and the neck of your guitar, you obviously make things narrow and narrow and narrow. Right? And if you have 6 strings, the strings are going to be positioned too closely to each other on a shrunk down guitar, right? So what this allows them to do, it allows them to have like an 8.5 or 8 gouge instead of like 942s, which is thinner and it's easier on a kid's hand. So you can have something like that on an actual guitar. And I really, really loved it. Dorothy says, Ibanez RG Micro already exists. Oh, I didn't know that. Really? Let's look it up. I'm actually keen to see it. Ibanez RG Micro. Is that a 3-string? Dorothea? And is Micro with a K? Oh, yeah. No, I've seen this before. Yeah. I've seen this before. So this is still a 6-string guitar, though. Yeah, this is like, so if you're like a teenager or like a very young teen, you can play with this, right? But the Gibson one and Robot Unit, hey man, how are you? Oh, very good. Good to see you. That Gibson guitar seems so cool. Yeah, it's really cool. I really liked it. It's just the fact that now you're making guitar accessible for even younger people. and only with 3 strings. So the learning becomes easier. You can narrow down the neck properly because you have less strings. You can narrow down the neck to fit their hand without injuring it or making it too difficult. I love it. One of the things I always thought when I see like really young kids shredding, because like if you can check out some YouTube videos of like really young kids just like shredding the heck out of it, and the thought that always comes to my mind is like, oh well, that poor kid, like give her or him a smaller guitar so they can play easier without too much strain on the hand, because you don't want them to like become virtuosos but then suffer injuries as they age. And this solves that. This is amazing. But yeah, I didn't know Ibanez micros existed too, so that's interesting. So thanks for that. But yeah, that's the micro with 6 string. That is the 3 string SG and Les Paul. So I thought that was like a really interesting thing to show. And the guy, so I'll stop the music. I'll show you guys the video. The kid that is in the video here is like older than what I think this, for the players that this guitar was made for.
We started Luke with a very simple idea. What if we could make it easier and more inviting for kids to learn guitar? That's where the 3-string guitar concept came in, and it's been our mission ever since to get kids playing, learning, and falling in love with music. We believe that learning...
Isn't this awesome? Like 3 treble strings on it. This is awesome. Like you can get the kid to solo. And by the way, having the 3 trebles and not the 3 bass strings or somewhere in the middle, I bet you is by design. Number one, the string is thinner, so if you want to teach your kid to bend, for example, it's easier on the hands. And then secondly, you can get them to shred a noodle as opposed to,
who create them, and yes, the guitars they choose to play. There's something deeply emotional about...
I like how he's playing one of them too.
Deeply emotional about your first guitar. You remember it forever, and for a lot of us, there's that other moment when you finally get your first Gibson. This collaboration is about capturing that feeling and...
That's a marketing mistake, by the way. You just gave the kid the little one, and now you give him the big one, nullifying the whole purpose of your product. God. Oh man, this is so obnoxious. So this is what I'm saying. So that guitar that this kid, the little one that this kid was having and playing with, like even a younger player can play that. Right? But have a look, like he's holding the guitar. Have a look at the strain that is having on his body, like how he has to elevate the shoulder and his fingers are so small, like he's playing it from the middle of the fret, not so much closer to the middle bit. You get the point. Yeah, see how much more comfortable his body is? How much more natural the shoulder angle and everything else is here. The body is not tilted and everything else. So, yeah.
The most meaningful way possible.
So I was like, this is awesome. Yeah. Doroteo says, it's too limited. You can't play full chords or full scales. Stick with 6 strings. Yeah, you're right. But, like, okay, that's an interesting thing. So that obviously puts the micro at advantage there because you have actually 6 strings on it. But like, what if the kid that is playing the guitar is like 4 or 5? Do you know what I mean? Like, if you got a really young kid playing that guitar, I'm like, if it was like my kid, and I don't have kids, okay? So anybody that has kids is in a better position to comment on it than me. But I would think, okay, well, let me give them the really tiny one if they're like 4 or 5, so that it doesn't strain their hands. And mind you, like most 4 or 5-year-old kids, unless like it's like a super weird, talented virtuoso kid that is like born with a genetic, like is a winner of a genetic lottery that is already like crazy shredder at the age of 5. That's a slightly different story. But I'd be like, yeah, I don't want that kid to grow up with tendonitis and carpal tunnel. You know what I mean? Give him a thin, small, tiny neck with 3 strings, baby steps. Let's learn those, like, 3 triples first, and then we'll upgrade to an Ibanez Micro with a 6 string, Robot says, seems cool, but it's like a banjo. Banjo? Yeah, but banjo has like 5 strings, no? It to me, it was like, this is more like a bass, but with triple strings on it. Like that's how I felt about it. Like if I want to, draw some parallels. But yeah, Robot also says yes for like 4 or 5-year-olds. Yeah, right. 4 strings. Yeah, 4 strings would have been really good too. I agree with you. 4 strings would have been really good too, because then when a kid learns to play this guitar, they can upgrade to a bass. And so, actually, no, you know what? I want guitar players. I don't want more bass players. So no, let's not introduce bass in this world, okay? I want our little guitar players to stay little guitar players. I don't want them to become bass players. As a guitar person, we don't want that to happen. Robot says yes, but the neck is really thin like a banjo. I get your point. You're right on that. Yes. I see the parallel. Otera says banjo has 4 strings. Banjo has what? Really? No, banjo has 5 strings. All right, we're gonna have to Google this. I thought banjo has 5 strings and the tuner for the 5th string is on the other side of the neck. Or it could be both. Hold on. Banjo. Number of strings. No, it is 5 strings, typically. Other types include 4-string banjos. Okay. Well, there you go. And 6 strings. Okay. So main one is a 5-string, but then you have 4 and 6-string versions as well. Here, the reason I remembered it, Doroteo, was this. The tuner for the 5th string starts somewhere in the middle. Which is weird, let's be honest. Which is very weird. There's like a good diagram here. Okay, so banjo. Just search for banjo. There we go. See what I'm talking about here? So that's like that extra tuner there on top of the 4. Yeah. Tell you guys something. If you guys like banjo as an instrument, there was this guy called Bela Fleck and Flecktones, this band. Highly encourage you to check him out. Bela Fleck and Flecktone. And it's a band that some big heads are there. So Victor Wooten is the bass player in the band. They've got so many crazy players there. This is their drummer. So he put all the drum sounds and everything in a keytar kind of an instrument. It's like a custom instrument he made. But check them out. Bela Fleck and Flecktones are great. And Bela himself is a superb banjo player. So skilled. It's this guy. This is Bela. Yeah. Amazing musicians. So if you guys are into that kind of music, highly recommend you to check out Bela Fleck and Flecktones. So yeah, that was the last item I wanted to show everybody because I thought Gibson's been pretty busy with, you got that Marc Jacobs collaboration. You had this one. They reintroduced the old B.B. King guitar in purple, which I thought it was interesting, but there was not much to talk about it other than, an old guitar. So I thought to bring it up and have that discussions with you guys. And I think I'm going to leave it here, guys. I think we've covered all the items on the docket that we wanted. So with that said, if there's nothing else, thank you so damn much for hanging out with me today. Man, I tell you guys, I love our chats. I genuinely do. So it's so good of you to come in, chat. You guys teach me something new. And I have a great time. Buenas noches, amigos. Buenas noches, Doroteo. Cuídate, hermano. Y hasta pronto. I'll see you guys en la semana que viene. Next week. Take care of yourself. Remember, you live once. Play the guitar. Have fun with it. Practice with it. All the good stuff, man. Woo! Let's go. I love this song. Guys, have a great weekend. Take care of yourselves. Robot, Doroteo, Jax, everybody. Mwah! And I'll see you next week. Take care.